Breaking Down the Law is sponsored by Battle Born Injury Lawyers.
And we are breaking down the law, as we do each Wednesday with attorney Matt Hoffmann. Always good to have you here, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, well, this week we're talking about a tough one. It has to do with Nevada's safe haven laws. And we're going to talk about how this law would apply to a story making local headlines, one that we just hope we don't have to see again, but unfortunately we see far too often. Police say that an infant no more than a few months old was found dead in a North Las Vegas dumpster. Now, we don't know all the circumstances surrounding that, but obviously a very sad scenario that's played out in Nevada and other states. And there are laws in place to prevent such tragedies from happening. And that's why we want to bring Matt into the conversation, because we're talking about Nevada's safe haven laws. So just kind of give us an overview of what this law entails and how, if someone finds themselves in this situation, they can take advantage of this law with the intent of obviously trying to save the life of their child.
Right, which is the whole impetus for these laws.
Sure.
Situations like this. I mean, in this case, it's not directly applicable because the age of the child, we don't really know if it's over 30 days.
That's true.
And we don't know what happened. It could have been, like in 2015, there was a case like this and it was a homicide.
Yeah.
So we still don't know a lot. But in general, the safe haven laws is that if you have an infant less than 30 days old, a parent can take that child to any provider of emergency service and relinquish their parental rights.
So we're talking fire department, police department.
Yes, ambulance
services. Okay.
Emergency department, right there at the hospital during birth.
Okay.
You relinquish your rights, and it protects the parent. Unless there's evidence of abuse or neglect, they can't be held for questioning, they don't have to give any identification, and they can't be followed. And so it's a safe haven for a parent that, for whatever reason, wants to relinquish their parenting rights. And situations can occur where maybe a mother has a child and they're going back to an abusive relationship. They're worried for their child. They don't feel like they're, able to care for this child. No questions asked. Bring it to a provider of emergency services, and you relinquish your parental rights and save the child.
And that's the hope. And
Yes.
that is the goal. And then obviously you as a parent don't find yourself criminally liable because you're trying to do the right thing for the sake of your child. Now, this is in the case if the child is 30 days old or younger. Now, what happens if they're beyond that 30-day mark?
It's not like you don't still have options. So the Department of Health and Human Services, Child Welfare, Child Protective Services, we have a wonderful adoption program. And they will gladly work with any parent who wants to give their child up for adoption. Particularly younger children under the age of 1, there's a line of people, waiting list to adopt children. So you can contact the Department of Health and Human Services, Child Protective Services, and they will work with a parent. Now, obviously, you're not going to have your identity protected like you would otherwise. And if there's abuse or neglect evidence, you can be investigated for it. But simplistically speaking, work with them, and they will work, and you can actually have input into what kind of adoptive service is implemented, whether you will actually keep track and know anything about your child later in life. And again, parents have options for these things. But the point is we have all these services available to prevent this, to prevent these situations, because this isn't the first time it's happened. It's probably not the last time, unfortunately.
Well, and I think that's why it's so important, and we're glad that you have you here, because the one thing that we can do is give you the information, and even if it doesn't apply to you personally, you can pass it along to someone else.
Exactly.
Because the ultimate goal here is we want to save the lives of these children. That is the goal. Matt, thank you.
No,
we appreciate you. A tough topic, but we appreciate
is.
you breaking it down for us.